You know how Muslims love to tell you about this Islamophobia in the West. Yeah, we know Shias are not safe in Saudi Arabia, Sunnis are not safe in Iran, Ahmadis and Shias are not safe in Pakistan, and so forth. So I've said it always, and I'm not downplaying it. Ahmadis are more endangered in Pakistan than probably atheists. Atheists get in trouble because they can't keep their mouths shut and they blaspheme. But Ahmadis don't blaspheme because they have the same revered figures as Sunni mainstream Muslims. But I've told you this. This is normal daily occurrences that you go to a shop, you'd see a message board that would say dogs and Ahmadis are not allowed, or Ahmadis first enter Islam and then enter the shop. So that kind of classic, what you would see in Hitler's Germany, the kind of
or apartheid times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or pre-civil rights movement America, where they say,
no blacks.
No blacks, but blacks sit at the back of the bus or give up the seat, all different water fountain, etc.
Muhammad Ali wasn't even allowed in a restaurant after he won an Olympic gold medal, and then that's like, exactly that kind of thing.
And that's why he threw it in the Mississippi River.
Yes, and imagine that level of discrimination is exactly what Ahmadis are facing in Pakistan now.
Today, exactly. That's the key word. So these countries did that 70, 80 years ago. Pakistan is doing it now. But as I always say, things don't stay static. They either devolve or they evolve. So Pakistan is constantly devolving to a point that this cleric, and I watched the video, this cleric said, and this is International Human Rights Committee, which is actually set up by Ahmadis, to be fair. And there is this video. If anyone wants to see that, then you can go and watch this video. This cleric by the name of Muhammad Naeem Chatta Qadri, the same guy who, remember the TLP guys that we've shown you time and time again? So from his party, those who popularized the slogan, behead those who insult the Prophet, those guys, they're coming up with something new now. They're saying, apparently these guys were pissed off at some Ahmadi had come to the local region and quietly did his preaching and ran away. So these guys were upset. And they said that and they were warning the government that if these guys, Ahmadis, come to our neighborhood again, you'll be responsible for it. And he said that chant the slogan, behead those who insult Prophet, so loudly that the Ahmadi women who are pregnant will miscarry the baby through fear. That's what this guy said. So, and then he's saying that so if they're born, we don't have to kill them. Openly, and this is on YouTube, by the way.
I think this is one of the worst streams of my life, Harris. Like I literally thought after.
But this video is still on YouTube, and YouTube doesn't do anything. People can report it to these people, but YouTube doesn't do anything about it. And now we are reporting it, and they might actually have a problem with that. So I get it. There's a language barrier. YouTube probably doesn't know what they have or what is being said. But this is how bad it is. And Ahmadi is literally, there's a huge, there are a few 100,000, maybe well over 1 million Ahmadis living in Pakistan. And they live in absolute terror. I've shared this story before. My house in Lahore, I had moved on from there, so I wasn't there. But my parents told me that there was a new neighbor, and he bought this house, and a few months later, rumors started spreading that he might be an Ahmadi, and then he found out that people are talking about it. And this is a very posh area, by the way. This is not a village or where you might get out of the house and you might get chopped up. So he heard that people are talking about, or people might have, his cover might be blown, and people are getting people are suspecting that he is an Ahmadi. Packed up within a month and left.
Good.
With his entire family.
Good.
Good. But no,
just to ensure his safety. Like that's what you need to do. You cannot believe people.
Yeah, of
no
course,
matter how friendly they appear to your face.
But of course, but I'm saying, how bad is it? You can literally turn it
Exactly.
can one little malicious rumor, it can turn your life upside down. Would you want to live in an environment where somebody finds out that, oh, this is where Nuria lives or whatever, so within a week you have to move? That would be miserable. But this is state sanctioned discrimination and persecution. State sanctioned.
Yes.
So when
All
people
the way
say,
up to the
oh,
Constitution itself.
yeah. So anyway, that's the plight of
Ahmadi
Ahmadis
Muslims.
in Pakistan and the UN. And I reckon the UN and America, they can do a lot more. I spoke about this last year when this Christian couple was accused of blasphemy, and they were languishing in Pakistani prisons for over a year or so. It got picked up by the European Parliament, and they discussed that in the European Parliament, and they threatened Pakistan that we're going to revoke your GSP plus status if you don't release those two people. And those bastards, European parliamentarians, they could have thrown in a few more names, but they only threw in two Christian names. And guess what happened? Within 4 weeks, off you go to Netherlands. They could have asked for Junaid fees. They could have asked for Yazidami. They could have asked for, I think there are about 80 people currently rotting in Pakistani prisons and on the charge of blasphemy. And who knows how many Ahmadis are there. So yeah, the West can do a lot more, but they don't do it.
If you like these videos and want to support me in my activism, then you can support me on Patreon or PayPal. Stay free, everyone!